Hi, welcome back. In the previous video I showed you how to make this animation, and today we are going to take that very same animation and bring it into the 3D world like this. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is get your original composition on the timeline, and just so that you can save it, if you click on it and then hold the Alt key and drag it across like that, it creates a copy which we can then mess around with in Fusion. Let's go into Fusion. So we're on our clip, right click and go open in Fusion. So here we are inside of Fusion. Let's zoom in using Control middle mouse there. I'm just going to disconnect this because we're going to add a few nodes in here from the 3D world. We need to add an image plane 3D, a merge 3D, spotlight, a camera, and a render 3D. Let's connect those all together. I'm just going to leave the light disconnected for a minute. So in the 3D world of Fusion, if I take this 2D text and try and connect it to the merge, it just won't have it. So the way you connect it is text or images, you have to go through an image plane. So we're going to connect it across like that. And as soon as we connect it, you see nothing happens. And the reason for that is if we put the camera in the left-hand window, our camera is in the same position as our text. So there we are. I just pulled it back. I'll just show you how I did that again. So just clicking on this blue line, you can just move it forwards and backwards like that. Now while we're on the camera, let's come over to the right hand side and click on transform and go down, and under pivot where it says use target, click on that. And that allows us to move the camera and it'll always target the text, which is very handy. Let's change the color of our text. So clicking on the text, I'm going to change that to orange. There we are. I like that shade of orange. And now we need to add some thickness to the text. And the way we do that is a little bit of a hack. We're going to click on this image plane. We're going to shift space bar, and we're looking for a duplicate 3D node, which is that one there. We're going to add that. Now if I bring the camera around to the side, you'll see it's done absolutely nothing. So we're going to click on the duplicate again, make sure it's selected, come up to the right hand side. We're going to change the quantity from 2 to 15. Little side note there, if you accidentally change that to 100, your computer fries. Mine nearly set itself on fire when I did that, so be careful of that. Then you come down to the translation just here, and if you hit the Z offset, it goes absolutely crazy. What you need to do is hold the control key while you do it. What I found is you get close enough and then you can say, okay, that's not bad, so we'll go 0.005. How does that look? Too thick. So 0.007. How does that look? Let's add one more zero in. 0.7. Yeah, that's not bad. That'll do it. If you go to the beginning of the animation, right there, the text doesn't really have any definition because we need to put an edge on it. So let me show you how we do that. We're going to select these two nodes here, drag out, select the text node, right click, copy, blank area, right click, paste. And what we do is take this text and connect it in like so. Now we have two copies of the text. We're going to move the mask paint up and we're going to connect that in to the top like that. And then any animation that's happening to this text will also happen to that text. Clicking on that second text, we're going to come across to the right hand side, go up to shading, which is the fourth one in, come down and see this one that says text outline. That's the one we're clicking on. Click on that, and then we're going to come down and click on the color, and we're going to change it to something a little bit darker, like a blue. And now when we come to the front, let's bring our camera around to the front at frame 60. You can see it's got an outline which is a bit too thick. So what we need to do is click back on the text, zoom in, and on the right hand side, if you come to thickness just here, you can just move that down just to give it a subtle edge. Right, let's animate the camera. So our camera is here at frame 60. What we're going to do is make sure you're on the camera. Come across to the transform section, and I've clicked off the camera. Let's do that again. So we're on the camera, come across to the transform section, and then click keyframes here. We're then going to go to the beginning of the animation, or actually just a little in, like frame 5. Then what we're going to do is pull the camera across to the side and get as close as we can. And then that way we can see our text being built up and coming all the way in like that. Right, let's add our lights. So here's our spotlight. We're going to connect that in like that. And as you see, as soon as I put that on there, it doesn't do anything. And that's because we need to go to our merge 3D just here and make sure pass through lights is ticked just here. Then we need to go to our renderer 3D. We need to make sure that enable lighting and shadows is highlighted, and also change software renderer to hardware renderer. Your computer will like you for that. Clicking on the spotlight, let's come up to the transform. Same thing again, come down, and where it says use target, just click on that. And what we're going to do is put the light in the left hand window to get rid of the camera, and we're just going to pull it out to see how it affects it straight away. Let's go to our controls panel here. We're going to turn off no decay here and go to quadratic. And if I increase the penumbral angle, you'll see it kind of softens the edge like that. So we're going to pull that out and bring it across to the side like that. Let's try duplicating that light and see what happens. I'm going to hit copy, select the node, right click, copy, and then right click, paste. We're going to connect that back in, and we're going to drag that second one to exactly the other side like that. Let's go to frame 0, drag it out a little bit. There we are, we need it about there. Let's create a keyframe on that point just in case we need to. Let's go to frame 60. Actually, that's not looking too bad. Right, we're pretty much done. All I did now, I added a background. I got this from Pexels. So if I just drag that in and then connect that to our renderer 3D, like so. I'm going to come up, good housekeeping, F2, change it to light background. Now you'll notice it's actually not the same size as our composition. We're going to click on it, shift spacebar, and we're looking for a resize node, which is that one there. I'm going to add that, and it automatically sizes it up to fit our comp. There's too many lights on that, so we're actually going to click on the resize, shift spacebar again, and this time we're looking for a blur. I'm going to add that. Come up to the right hand side and just blur it out like that. Now you'll notice our text has vanished, and the reason for that is this blur, this image is going into the foreground of our merge. So just click on the merge, right click, swap inputs, and our text comes back. Now to make this really shine, and there's a pun in there somewhere, I'm going to click on this merge, I'm going to go shift spacebar again, and we're looking for rays. And it's that top one, light rays. We're going to add one of those. And look at that. One of my very favorite effects. So at this frame, which is frame 60, actually we'll go a bit further, frame 70. Clicking on the light rays, we're going to come across to the right. We're going to change it from location here to at angle. And we're going to click a keyframe just there. We're going to come down, also click a keyframe on length and brightness. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go forward to frame, say, 10. And then we're going to increase that brightness. Crank it right up and increase the length like that. Let's change the angle. Then let's come forward to the next frame. Let's change the angle. And bring down the brightness. Lengthen the length a little bit and then bring down the brightness again. Then what I did was almost exactly the same thing again. Clicked on the light raise, I went shift spacebar and added another light raise. This time I changed the keyframe closer to when the animation finishes, frame 60. Again, on this one here, I'm going to change it from location to angle, create a keyframe on the length and the brightness, and let's just play with that length. Let's change the angle, change the brightness, come forward say 20 frames, bring the length right back down and the brightness down as well, almost to 0. Then let's go through to frame 5, change that angle, bring the brightness right down on this one because we're doubling up, and the length as well. And there we are, looking good. Let's play that back in the timeline and see how it looks. The only thing I want to change on that is I think I'm going to change the keyframes on the camera just to soften it a bit when it first hits in. So we're going to click on the camera, come up to the spline editor up here. I have the tool just here selected. If I click on that show only selected tool, and what that does is anything I click on, it only shows me the information for that node. So by clicking on the camera, it only shows me the information for that. So let's zoom to fit that, like that. And what we're going to do is select those points there and come down. You can click here to smooth, or you can just press S on your keyboard to do the same thing. So to get that effect at the end where the light goes out and then comes out back like that, what I did was, if you look at the music, you can see the actual beat. So what I did was I just went inside of Fusion. You can actually click on it over that point and it will show you the keyframe right there. I lengthened the raise and then moved forward to there, and then I shortened them again just to give that pulsating effect. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. In the next one, I'm going to be creating this pseudo Monty Python type animation. If you're up for it, come along, join, and let's have some fun. Bye.